Hi ladies, good morning. Welcome to the live Ask Me Anything. So let me know if you guys are watching. Again, whenever I go on these lives, I can't tell if I'm actually live until I see a comment, until I see a like or a heart. So let me know if you're here watching. Give me a like, give me a heart. Let me know where you're watching from, and then we will get started. So I do this every once in a while. I did this last month, this Ask Me Anything, and it was so fun. You guys asked so many amazing questions. So here's your opportunity to do it again, to get your questions answered, and to really just ask anything that's on your mind. This could be about relationships, about exes, about healing, about toxic relationships, about releasing subconscious blocks, finding real love. You can also ask me questions if you have questions about me, my personal life. I am willing to answer pretty much most questions here. So yeah, but before I get into that, so yeah, again, let me know, can you guys hear me okay? Can you see me? Are we working here? But yeah, so again, before I do that, I want to go into just introducing myself. In case you are new here, my name is Lindsay, and I help women release the subconscious blocks that they may have that are holding them back from finding real love. So, all right, drop your questions in the comments. So I'm going to be going through I have a question submission from yesterday that I'm going to be starting with, but as we go through this, drop your questions in the comments, and let me make sure that I can see them. So can somebody just let me know if you can hear me okay? I want to make sure that my comments are working so that I can do this properly and answer your questions. So yeah, if you guys can see me or hear me, let me know. I don't see any comments yet. So maybe I need to pull this up here on the app. But yeah, again, anyone? Okay, Robin, thank you. I can see, perfect. I can see your comment. All right, so we're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to read a submission here from one of our group members. This is thank you, Lena. All right, thank you so much, guys. That's really helpful. Hi, Jeanette. Hi from the UK. Very cool. Okay, so Cheryl, I'm going to get to your question after I do this previous submission here. Okay, so again, this is an anonymous question from one of the group members, and I'm going to read to you her situation, and then I'm going to break it down and give her some advice, give her my perspective here. So here's the situation. This woman, she says, I was with a married man for 4 years, and he cheated on me and his wife. I was newly divorced when I met him, and he promised me the world, and we had an instant connection. I reached out to the other woman. We went to his house to speak to his wife, but we didn't actually tell her anything because she said she already knew. That was back in November. We still talk every day and have been intimate a few times since, but now he says he doesn't trust me. He now says he doesn't want to be a cheater anymore and blames me for everything. He says if he doesn't let his marriage fail on its own, then he will never be faithful to me. But yet, this person still calls and texts her every day. I love this man so much. I'm falling apart and just can't seem to let go. I can't handle not having him in my life. I don't want to stop talking to him because I love him so much, but I also want him to be faithful to me if his marriage fails. He says he wants his marriage to fail on its own with no outside influence from me, which I understand, but it's been 4 years. So, by the way, ladies, as I'm reading this, if you can relate to any of this, give me a like, drop something in the comments, because one of the reasons I chose this question is because I get a lot of similar questions. And so, again, let me know if you can relate here. With his history of infidelity, I am having a hard time trusting as well. He says he can't trust me, but I have been faithful to this man since day one. So her question is just, what do I do? We still talk every day and see each other occasionally. He's turning the trust thing around on me. He says he doesn't trust me because me and the other woman he cheated with went to his house. He has no other reason. I love him too much to let him go. I'm really struggling with this. I just want things to be what they were before or be better. He was so in love with me. We were best friends. We had our future planned. I was just waiting on him to leave his wife. Okay, so there are a couple different things going on here that I want to address. So the first thing being, to the person who asked this question, if you are looking for a healthy relationship partner, this guy is not it. And he most likely will never be that. You know, what this person has proven over and over again is that they're okay with infidelity. They don't really have a problem with it. So if you want a healthy monogamous relationship, this is not going to be the guy. You know, he may say that he wants to be faithful to his wife, but his actions speak otherwise. He's still talking to you. He's still seeing you. Okay? So, you know, like Sherry says, once a cheat, always a cheat. If he cheated with you on his wife, what is going to stop him from cheating on you with someone else? This is very true. You know, yes, people can change, but it's hard work to change. And what would have to happen for change to happen is he would have to do some very, very intense healing work. He would have to become self-aware. He would have to figure out, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I cheating? Why am I not able to be faithful to my wife? And that would be tough. It'd be very difficult. So yes, the likelihood that if you guys got together and he did leave his wife, the likelihood that he would cheat on you is very high, okay? So that's that. You know, we want to always pay attention to actions here. Because someone can tell you, they can promise you the world. They can say, oh, I don't want to be faithful. They can say, I don't want to be unfaithful. They can say a million things, but we have to go by what they're doing, okay? So words mean nothing unless they're backed up by action. So that alone would be enough for me to say, okay, this is not a good relationship partner for you if what you're looking for is a healthy monogamous relationship. So then you also have the part where he is really unwilling to take any responsibility for his behavior and his life. He says he wants the marriage to fail on its own. Truthfully, I don't even know what that means. Like, that honestly doesn't even make sense to me. But what I'm really hearing is, I don't want to be the bad guy here. I don't want to make the hard decisions in my life. I don't want to have the hard discussions with my wife. So this is also an indication that this person is not going to be a healthy partner for you. And I don't even like to label this kind of stuff, but this is very, very blatant here. This is kind of cowardly behavior here, you know, just not willing to make the tough choices, to have the hard discussions. This person kind of just wants to, like, well, it's not my responsibility. I'm just going to let it fail. But really, probably what is causing his relationship to fail is his infidelity. I mean, we don't know all the details here, but this shows a real lack of being able to take responsibility and accountability. And if you're seeing this in a potential partner, this is not a good sign, okay? I would not recommend moving forward with someone like this. So someone who you do want to be with will take responsibility. They'll look at their marriage, and if something's not working, they'll either work on it, or they'll say, okay, this is not working. I need to make that hard decision and walk away. That's integrity. So you want to have someone with integrity. Someone, again, like I said, whose actions are matching up to their words. Not where they're telling you one thing, but then doing another. That's a lack of integrity. A healthy relationship partner will have integrity, okay? So this, I'm not seeing it with this person. You know, someone with integrity has a sense of internal values, okay? So if they say, I don't want to be this person who cheats anymore, then they're going to live by that. Their actions will match up. They will stop talking to you, right? You as the affair partner. They will, end that extramarital relationship and focus on the marriage, okay? So again, this wanting the marriage to fail on its own, I really don't even know what that means, other than you're dealing with a person who does not want to take accountability for their actions, and this is not going to be a healthy relationship partner for you. So the next thing, and is this making sense to you guys, and is this helpful? I'm really breaking down this situation here. Please let me know. Give me a like if this is helpful, a heart. Let me know in the comments so that I can know what else to address for you here. So the next thing that I want to address is that you said you're having difficulty trusting this person. Heck yeah, I would have difficulty trusting this person too. This person is not trustworthy. And I say this a lot. You can drive yourself crazy trying to trust a person who is not trustworthy. Let me know if you guys have experienced this. If you have tried and tried to trust someone who fundamentally you cannot trust, it's crazy making, right? So I say this all the time. People come to me and they say, I have trust issues. And meanwhile, they're giving me a list of behaviors that their partner is doing that aren't trustworthy. I would not trust them either. There's no amount of healing work, mindset work, guided meditations that will make you be able to trust someone who you can't trust, who is doing, what they would call shady behavior. It doesn't work. So a lot of times there are actually not trust issues. You're just dealing with someone who you can't trust, who lacks that integrity, like we were talking about before, whose actions do not match their words. So, I was almost laughing when I heard that this guy says that he can't trust you, the person who wrote in this question. This to me seems like a case of projection, 100%. The person that you can't trust here is this man who is cheating on his wife. That's not a trustworthy behavior. And then so he's projecting it, he's turning it around completely onto you and saying, well, I can't trust you. So this is another sign. This is a trait of someone who has a lot of narcissistic characteristics. A couple weeks ago, I did my deprogramming intensive, and I went through the spectrum of narcissism and spectrum of ego. This is someone who sounds like they're higher on that narcissistic spectrum and who will not be a healthy relationship partner for you. So there's many different levels of unhealthy going on in this dynamic at this point. And again, you will make yourself crazy trying to trust someone who is not trustworthy. So I don't recommend doing it, okay? So my advice here is that if you want a healthy, loving relationship, you have to walk away from this person. This person is not going to be able to give that to you. And he most likely never will be. He would really have to completely change who he is as a person. And as I always say, change is hard. Change is really hard. So again, it's highly unlikely that this person is going to change their behavior. And I know, what's probably going on in your mind is like, well, if he just leaves his wife, then everything will be okay. No, that's not how this works. He's going to be the same guy that he was when he was with his wife. People don't change that easily. They have to really, really want to. They have to really dig deep, put in a lot of work. They have to get outside support. And it doesn't sound like that's what this guy is doing right now. So I know what you also said is that you want things to go back to how they were before, back when they were good. But I want to point out here that back when they were good, quote unquote good, you were still with an emotionally unavailable person, okay? He was married, so by definition, that makes him unavailable. And, I get it. these relationships where you almost have someone, but not quite, you're so close to having them completely, but they keep you a little bit far away. Girl, I get it. These relationships can be incredibly alluring, incredibly addictive, because they're a challenge for the ego. It's exciting. It's like a roller coaster. There's a lot of highs, there's a lot of lows. It can make you feel alive. Okay? But, it's like they love you, but not enough to leave their wife. They always keep you not fully in, like they keep you at a distance. You're not fully and completely theirs. And, it's a challenge for the ego. It's super addictive, but it's not good for you. This is an extremely unhealthy dynamic. And I understand how powerful that force can be that pulls you to this person. But it's like the definition of a toxic relationship, this dynamic. So, I also wanted to speak to the love that you say you feel for this person, and I believe you. And I know how difficult it is to walk away from someone who you love so much. It's one of the hardest things that you can ever do. Truly, it really is. And I've been there. I get it. Like, I've done this a couple times. Ladies, I get it. I get how hard it is. But love, it's not enough. We have this saying in our culture that love conquers all. It doesn't. Not in this situation. Not in cases like this where the dynamic is so unhealthy. And so you really have a choice here. You can leave and go through some pain one time, or you can stay and get hurt over and over and over again. If you stay in this relationship, you will break your own heart on a continuous basis. So I hope this is making sense. There is no amount of changing that you can do or being the perfect girlfriend that is going to make him leave his wife and be a good relationship partner for you. It doesn't work like that. It's not going to happen. So reach out and get support to help you leave this relationship. This is my recommendation. Is it going to be hard? Yes. Is it going to be painful? Yes. But at least it will be pain that is moving you forward in the direction of potential happiness. Because if you stay with this man, I can pretty much guarantee happiness is not in your future with this guy. It's just going to be more pain, more of that roller coaster, more of him keeping you on the outside. But if you leave, at least you have that potential to find someone who can truly love you. Like the name of this group, Finding Real Love. You can find real, healthy love if you leave this relationship. Okay? So, again, I don't know the future. I can't predict the future, but I can see very clearly where this is going, and I don't think it will end well. So, yeah, like Sherry says, go hang out with your girlfriends. Yeah, exactly. So my advice here is to get as much support as you can and leave this relationship. You will be okay. Get support. I don't care whether it's from me, a therapist, another coach, whoever. Get as much support as you can to help you leave this relationship so you can have a better future. Okay? We can't do this alone. You're going to need the support. A lot of us can sometimes be a little stubborn in this, and that was me. Thinking I can do this on my own. But we're not supposed to do it on our own. It's ending a relationship like this is so hard. It really is. It's a literal addiction. So you want to get as much support as you can. And that's my advice here. If you have any, the person who gave me this question, if you have any more questions about this, feel free to message me. But that is my take on it. All right, so let me look at the other questions here. And again, ladies, if you have questions, put them in the comments about literally anything, and I will answer them. Okay, Cheryl says, I just can't find anyone. I have no idea why. Okay, so Cheryl, can you give us a little more info on this? Like, where are you looking? You know, what are the things that you're trying? Are you going online? Are you, you know, it is tough right now here with COVID, but yeah, so Cheryl, I would love to hear a little bit more about that so I can answer that question for you. Yeah, Sherry says he's trying to keep her in his web. Yeah, probably. I'm sure this person, you know, the guy she's talking to, I'm sure he really enjoys having his wife and her. But again, it's not a healthy relationship dynamic for anyone. So have any of you gone through this yourselves or something similar? I'd be very curious to find out. So no more questions, ladies? I'm shocked. This is your chance for free coaching here. Okay, Cheryl says, I'm going online and everywhere I can find them, but I just can't keep them. Okay. Sherry, oh, interesting, you have too. So Cheryl, can you tell me what is happening in these relationships? Are they leaving, or are you dating them and seeing something's not right? I don't really want to be with these people. So yeah, give me some more information about that. A lot of times, people online, they really aren't looking for serious relationships. You have to know how to weed them out. And this is part of what I teach my clients and what we work on in my Living Free program. But there's certain ways that we can tell if this person is really looking for a long-term relationship. Because again, like I said in the last question that I had, people can say that they want a long-term relationship, that they want something serious, but their actions can speak otherwise. I find them, but they leave without a word. Okay, so yeah. Cheryl, probably what's happening here is you are just encountering people that aren't looking for a healthy relationship. They don't want a long-term relationship. They're probably just looking to hook up. They're not looking for something serious. So again, like what I teach in my program is how to figure this out. Because, you know, I can say, like, one of the things that I can say is to pay attention to their actions. Okay? So, for example, if they say they want a healthy relationship, well, are they behaving in that manner? Are they contacting you to just get to know you? Are they asking, you know, some more serious, some more deep questions? Are they following up with you? How do I find a man who wants long term? Good. That's a great question. So again, this is what I'm sharing here. You know, you want to look for healthy relationship behaviors. And if you guys don't already have my checklist for healthy relationship behaviors, type checklist in the comments and I'll send that to you. But that's kind of your guide that you can look for. There's certain behaviors like, you know, being able to speak about emotions. That's an important thing to know. And you also, like, if someone says that they're looking for something long term, they should be showing you these types of behaviors that indicate you're in a more serious relationship with someone. Not in the beginning, but it should be progressing. Okay? Yeah, so Cheryl, I'll send you that checklist. But yeah, another good way that sometimes we really don't think about is to ask. You know, ask what they're looking for and then watch the actions. Because again, people can say a lot of different things, but someone who's looking for something more long-term, they will consistently show up. You know, they won't just call you to have a quick hookup. They'll call you to check in. They'll see how you're doing. They'll ask you out on dates. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that you can tell. Yeah, and Sherry says some guys I've talked to seem to be scammers because they keep asking me for money. Yes, do not ever give anyone money over online dating because, yes, unfortunately, there are a ton of scammers out there. There's a ton. So yes, if anyone asks you for money, bye. Yes, there are scammers. One of the more common scams out there is like they start saying that they are working offshore and there was an accident and they need money. Okay, that's a common one. Don't fall for that. If anyone is working overseas and working at an offshore oil rig, that should be a red flag. Okay. But I know that, like, I get all these friend requests on Facebook all the time from very shady looking profiles, men who have brand new accounts. These are the kind of things, don't go for that. And oftentimes the pictures of the men are very attractive. So, as a woman, you're like, ooh, okay. You want to see what this is about. But yeah, they're usually scammers, so be very careful here. Okay, so let me go up here. So Robin asks, what's your advice regarding online dating? I feel like they are full of men with personality disorders. Yes. So as you get older, the dating pool does naturally get a little bit smaller, and there are more people who, what you would call avoidant attachment or anxious attachment, meaning they're difficult relationship partners because, they haven't been able to make a relationship work, so they're out there dating. Okay, and yes, some of them do have personality disorders. So you may have to weed through a lot of frogs before you find your prince. My advice here, Robin, is to, and this is what I tell most of the women that I work with, is to broaden your perspective a little bit and to start to go for guys that you maybe wouldn't have gone for in the past. And by this, I don't mean people that you're just completely not attracted to. I mean people that you were like, they're not the most attractive. I'm going to pass on them and go for the more attractive people. Because online dating, it's so easy to get caught up in just looks, right? You have some pictures and that's what you're going by. But people can show up very differently in real life. So if there's someone out there where you're like, I don't know, he's all right looking, go, like his profile, maybe there'll be a match there, and meet up with this person in real life or do a video chat with them. Just try to give people a chance, because honestly, I hate that this is how it is, but the most attractive people on those apps can often be the most narcissistic. They can have, again, those personality disorders. So try to broaden your perspective, and I hope this makes sense. All right, let me see what other questions I have here. Guys, yeah, drop your questions here. Let's see, it's 10:59. I'm gonna keep going for a few more minutes as long as we have questions here. Okay, so Jeanette says, I'm really struggling to stay no contact with my abusive ex. I've moved into a refuge, but he still keeps sending me emails and breaking me down. Yeah, Jeanette, I know how difficult it is. What I always recommend people do is to go no contact as much as possible. I mean, I don't, do you have kids with this person? Is there any reason why you do need to stay in contact with him? So just let me know, and I'm going to keep talking here. But this is kind of like ripping off a Band-Aid, okay? It's going to hurt a lot at first, and it's going to be difficult at first, but the faster you can do it, the faster you can move forward and away from this abusive person. You can do it gradually, but I don't recommend it because, again, like you said here, you're going to still keep getting the emails. It's going to keep hurting, and they're going to keep breaking you down and down and down. So it's like, it's really like quitting any addiction. Like when you go into rehab for alcohol addiction, they don't tell you, oh, okay, well, you can have like a drink here or there. No, you're cold turkey off that alcohol, and you go through the withdrawals. That's what this is. It's going to be painful. But if you have, you said you moved into a refuge, you have that support, this is a great place to do it. You're not alone here. There's other women going through the same thing. You usually in these places you have professional support as well. So It's brutal. I get it. But you can do this. The sooner you can go no contact with this person and get them out of your life to where they're not triggering you all the time, the sooner you can recover and move forward. Okay? All right, ladies, any more questions here? Oh, Sherry, this is interesting. Some guys I've talked to seem to be scammers because they keep asking me for money. Right, okay. I read that comment. You had one last night who asked you if you could help him out, and I knew what it was leading to, so I said not happening and blocked him. Good. Perfect. Yes. If anyone's asking you for money, do not go for that. You definitely did the right thing, Sherry. Okay, so the police have left an investigation open for me to press charges, but right now he still has control over me, and I'm scared too. Jeanette, what do you mean by he's still controlling you? Can you elaborate on that? Yeah, Sherry has some good advice here. Change your email. Don't give it to anyone. Change your phone number. Yeah, no reason. Okay. So yeah, Jeanette, I don't see... Yeah, can you please elaborate on what you mean by he's still controlling you? Do you mean emotionally? If you're in a shelter, you should be safe from him. Or, do you mean financially? I'm scared of him, so my fear of him controls me. Okay. So yeah, Jeanette, if he is not in close proximity to you and you are in a shelter and you are safe, you are safe. So you can start to move forward and press charges. He's not going to be able to get to you where you are. These refuges, usually the address is not known to the public. They're very hard to find, okay? So you're safe here to move forward. Your fear is justified, but you're in a safe place, and make sure you keep talking to whoever is in charge of your case here, the detectives. Then they can also reassure you that you are safe, okay? But this is something, I would move forward with pressing charges if you're wavering on that, because in doing so, you are protecting women in the future from any potential abuse that this person might perpetrate on other people. It may not, depending on the outcome here, it may not stop him, but the record will be there, and people can look it up. And so it's like a warning to anyone who he encounters in the future. Again, depending on the outcome. He could go to jail. We don't know. But yeah, Jeanette, I would move forward and press charges. You're safe, okay? This person can't get to you where you are. Okay, so Ronnie's question is, he says he's trying and I can see it, but then he turns around and shows his true colors. Is this what I'll be doing for years? I have a child with him and he seems like he's trying. So, Ronnie, has this person gotten any professional support? Has he worked with anyone other than just saying that he's trying and making a little progress, but then backsliding? That's what I would like to know. If this person is narcissistic, and I think you and I talked a little bit last night, I think you said that he was narcissistic, then the likelihood of some true significant change is very low, okay? It's depending on how bad that narcissism is, yes, it's possible that some behavior could change, but that personality style, that narcissism, it is so highly resistant to change that, I tell anyone, if you're with someone who has a lot of narcissistic qualities, I wouldn't recommend sticking around. It's not going to be a healthy relationship. Yes, some of the behaviors might modify slightly, but it's not going to be the deeply fulfilling, nurturing relationship that you all deserve here. So, oops, I lost my comments here. Yeah, no, he refuses. Okay. So, if someone did truly want to change, they would get professional support. They would do whatever they had to do to be the person that they needed to be for you in that relationship. So if that's not happening, I would say, yeah, the likelihood is this is going to be the cycle. You would do this for years and years and years. It doesn't seem like it's going to change. And I know since you guys have a child together, it makes it harder to leave. But for the sake of your child, growing up in that dynamic is terrible for the mental and emotional health of a child. So a lot of times we tell ourselves, well, we want to stay in these relationships for the kids. No, it's terrible for the kids to be in that dynamic where the relationship is unhealthy, where there could be abuse going on. Much better to be away from that and in a healthy environment. So, yeah, Ronnie says, thank you. That's what I've been trying to tell him. The real love, he can't offer that. Yeah, and it's one of the most difficult things to come to terms with, to really accept that this person is who they are, and they can't be the person that we want them to be. And again, like, I get it. I've been there. Because a lot of what keeps us in these relationships is the hope. The hope that they will change, the hope that one day they will wake up and realize how amazing we are and how much they love us, right? But very often that day never comes. Truthfully, I don't know anyone who that has happened to. Do you guys? I don't. Hasn't happened to me in my past unhealthy relationships. And again, I don't know anyone who that's happened to. What has happened that I do know works is people have left those relationships and found those amazing partners who do think that you are incredible and who show up every day and really appreciate you and can love you in that way. That's my story. I had to leave those bad relationships in order to get to that love. So, Ronnie, I know how difficult it is, but if you do end up leaving this relationship, you will be okay. And I, as always, for all of you, I am here to support you guys in any way that you need it. Okay, so let's see. Any other questions before I go here? Yeah, Sherry's plugging Quora here. Yeah, Quora is great. Quora is actually, I myself have an account on Quora, and I started writing on Quora a couple years ago. That's actually how I got into doing this coaching kind of thing, was Quora. So very cool. Robin says, my ex told me he would go for help, but he wanted me to make that appointment for him. Yeah, I took that as a red flag that he didn't really want to go for help. He told me he likes himself the way it is. Robin, you said it all. If this person is not even willing to go make the appointment for themselves, then they're not going to change. That shows a very, very low motivation to change. In order to really change behavior, you have to have that self-motivation. You have to be motivated because it's hard work, Ronnie too. Yeah, mine did it too and still hasn't. Exactly, guys. Change, like I keep saying, change requires a lot of internal motivation because it's a long-term process. Like you can't modify your behavior one day and then not do it the next day. You have to consistently show up, change that behavior until it becomes your new norm, and that is hard work. You need internal motivation. If it's not there, it's not going to happen. So yeah, ladies, here's a rule. Anytime your partner is asking you to make them a therapy appointment, not a good sign, okay? All right, ladies, I'm going to wrap this up here. I don't want to go too long today. Any more questions before I end the Q&A? And let me just make sure I don't have anything else that I wanted to tell you guys today. Oh, yeah, so ladies, so if you are ready to release your subconscious blocks so you can find real love, send me a message or type I'm ready here in the comments, because this is my specialty. A lot of times we end up in these unhealthy relationships because we have subconscious blocks. We have emotional baggage that we're carrying around, and we literally have these beliefs that are blocking us from letting in the people that can love us. And the reason why I do this work is because this was exactly my story. I was like almost turned off by people who really, really liked me and who really would have been great partners. I was like, nah, they're not my type. And I went for guys who were emotionally unavailable, who didn't treat me well. And it was because of all this stuff that I was carrying around from my past. Yeah, Ronnie. Yeah, I put off the energy for the bad people. Yeah, and so we believe like, oh, I'm just attracting these people who are unhealthy for me. No, we're not attracting them. We're choosing them. So it's, when you're carrying around all this subconscious stuff and these blocks, it makes it like you have these glasses on. Like you actually can't see the healthy partners. See, you look right past them, and it's like you're zoned in on the people who are not right for you, who can't treat you well. But this can absolutely be shifted, and it doesn't have to take so long. Oh, you guys, thank you for the the compliments here. It's my pleasure, ladies. But yeah, so what I wanted to say is this doesn't have to take forever. Like this can be pretty quickly. Like I was just talking to one of my clients yesterday. We did one session with her, and she couldn't believe how much better she felt. She said, I feel amazing. I feel like I've turned over a new leaf. We just did some energy healing with her. We did some guided meditations. And yeah, she feels so good. And again, this is one session. So this is powerful stuff. Like I don't share stuff with you that doesn't work. This is stuff that I've used on myself that creates powerful, powerful shifts and opens your heart up so you can see those good partners. You can let them in. Okay, so yeah, this stuff works fast. So message me if you're ready, or you can type I'm ready in the comments. And I want to let you ladies know I have a brand new IG account that I created just for women who are wanting real love. So the account is Living Free Finding Love. And I'll put it in the comments so you guys have it too. But yeah, follow me over there. I'm pretty active on there. I share a lot of personal stuff, stories, inspiration. So yeah, check me out on IG. All right, ladies, I think we are good here. Thank you so much for watching and participating. You guys make the Q&As, the Ask Me Anythings, really fun to do. So also, let me know if you like this. Do you want me to do more of these? All right. Have a good rest of your day. Talk to you later, ladies.